The African dream. The African dream has been in every African's mind since generations and generations. We have been worried, we have been concerned as to why we as African people are having our dreams thwarted generation after generation. When you read the history books, you discover that we as Africans have always been having our aspirations thwarted. And that worries me because I wonder why it is like that. For me, the African dream is the wish that I have. The wish that I have that we could be free to be. We should be free to be whatever we want to be. As an African, I should be able to dream and have that dream realized. As an African, I should not be afraid to be here. This is home. When I'm in Africa, I should not be afraid to be at home, to wonder when will that person come and kill me? When will that atrocity happen to me or closer home? My African dream is that we may stay at home. Why are we globe-trotting the world looking for better opportunities when we've got homes and houses? We've got nationalities and places that we come from. Why are those places not good enough for us? Why should we be out there being humiliated at border posts, being searched unfairly when we have got a home? Why is it like that? Why can't we stay at home? I wish we could feed our children. Our kids in Africa are hungry. There isn't enough food. Yet we have got a capacity to produce enough food to feed the whole world. Yet in Africa, our kids are hungry. There is not enough to go around. I wish I could give our kids a proper health care. In Africa, people die of diseases that are treatable. But because maybe there are no finances, there's no money, the African child is dying before they get to be 5 years old. I wish we could keep our kids in schools so that they can get a proper education. The African child has got so much potential, but as long as we don't give him or her a chance in school, they shall amount to nothing. That doesn't mean that we are nothing. It only means that we don't have the opportunity to be something. I wish as an African I could travel wherever I want to. I wish it would be easy to get into London, into Stockholm. I wish if I would land in Washington DC, it would be normal. I wish I could be treated fairly there. I could be respected. I wish it would be easy for me to meet whomever I want to meet. I wish it would be easy for me as an African person to associate with whomever I want to associate with, so that it would be easy for me to do that. I wish there were not so much barriers to entry for the African man or woman. I wish they would not select me for embarrassment as they search me unfairly. I wish us as African people would treat each other right. I wish we would treat each other right regardless of race, nationality and tribe. There are whites in Africa, there are black people in Africa, There are brown people in Africa. There are different nationalities and tribes. I wish we could treat each other right. I wish tribalism was not an issue here. I wish we should just treat each other as people. Because when you get down to it, you discover that's exactly what we are. We are just people. I wish the skin color that I have was not a matter. I wish it did not matter when I move in the streets of Johannesburg and I'm dark. I wish the police would not single me out for checking of my papers because of the color of my skin. I wish it would be easy for every person to be earning in Africa. I wish my skin color would not determine whether I get a job or I don't get a job. I wish lightness and darkness of the skin color was not an issue in Africa, but it is an issue in Africa. African Culture Matters is a book that I wrote. The book deals with the issues of Africa. African Culture Matters, How to Transform a Continent by Changing Mindset. This book is premised on the idea that we as African people can no longer afford to blame other people for our problems. We cannot continue blaming whites, Europeans, Americans for where we are right now. We as African people should start taking responsibility for the African problem and the African narrative. It is in our hands to chart a way forward. Yes, it's true, they did things to us then. But my question is, what are we doing now? When we've got the opportunity to change, when we have received this opportunity to change ourselves, what are we doing with the opportunity? Are we continuing using the same old, tired explanation about why Africa is as it is? Are we going to continue to do that? We should start introspecting Africans. We should start looking inside ourselves and checking, why are we like this? Why are things like this? I believe that what Africa is right now is a reflection of the collective view that we as Africans have of ourselves. And for us to go forward, we need as African people to change that view of ourselves. We need to transform and change our mindsets. That will help us to become a better Africa. Hi, my name is John Samani. I'm the author of the book African Culture Matters, How to Transform a Continent by Changing Mindsets. I'd like to welcome you to this channel and this podcast. Please make sure that you subscribe and like this video, like this podcast, so that you'll be able to receive more messages from us. I believe that this book is more of a call to action for Africans. This book is a manifesto. The book is saying, guys, let's come, let's sit down, let's start talking. Let's introspect, let's look inside our hearts. We can do better as African people. But we can only do better if we change the way we look at things, the way we deal with African issues, and the way we even treat each other. When we do that change, then Africa will change for us. So this is in our hands. It is a responsibility of each and every one of us to change our narratives, to change the way we do things. Africa, You can be better than this. Africa, you can do this.